Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. We need to talk a little bit about our Week 6 recaps. It's been a little bit of time in the making. Yeah, it's been about a week. Probably won't get any views. I don't really care, but this is mainly me just doing it for myself, just to get the stuff out. I should have been out sooner, but I don't really have an excuse. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. By the time the Friday game started rolling around, I need to work on that stuff too. So without further ado, let's get into our Friday slate. We'll have two other videos after this as well for the Saturday and the Sunday slates. So the two Friday games, Orlando and Jacksonville, are up first, followed by Quad City and San Diego. Let's dive in. All right, so with this, we had a fun game between Orlando and Jacksonville, didn't we? I know you probably just watched the preview between Orlando and Green Bay, so okay, go back and watch this game too, because it should be out on the Indoor Football League Network or overnight on demand. I think you can go watch it right now, so you don't even need to wait for that. But this was a very, very fun game if you were a Jacksonville Sharks fan. I'll tell you that. We start off with Jimmy Robinson with a kick return to the Orlando 9, and it's first and goal to start the game already. Robinson will cap it off. You know he had to in that regard. I think there was another run by James Cahoon or a sneak or something in there at one point, but Robinson caps it off. It's a 3-yard rush for the score. Jacksonville starting off 7-0. Mark Orozco nails a deuce on the kickoff. Suddenly it's 9-0 Jacksonville, and we got to see how Orlando responds with this one. Third and manageable on this opening drive here. Nyquan Murray doesn't convert it, but a pass left side to Thomas Owens. He'll keep the drive going as he makes the catch into first down. Another third down, toss out to the right side. Owens picks up another one, this time on the ground though, so catching and running. 11-yard pickup for the Pirates. Puka Williams just wide open. He has some yards after the catch with that, so nice little pitch and catch there. Pirates getting inside the 5-yard line, inside the red zone, but they can't punch it home. And then DeLaurent just throws across the field. Dylan Brown for Jacksonville is right there. He has a pick. He has room. He has more. He's gone. It's a pick six for the Sharks. Incredible. Chris Rice, though, was getting a lot of pressure, so you'll hear his name a little bit through this because I was watching him. He had one hell of a game. Jacksonville D-line holding up on that, 16-0 Sharks after the extra point. However, not for long. One play, one touchdown. Thomas Owens catch inside the 5 and literally has the defensive back bounce off of him as he kind of spins around. Was that when he spun around? Either way, he had a defensive back bounce off of him. It's a touchdown as he goes in there, but they missed the extra point. 16-6 right now. Sharks up by 10. Roe Torrance has a nice pass breakup for Orlando, and the Sharks face a fourth down, but Cahoon has time. Wide open left sideline is Jimmy Robinson. He cuts inside, and it's a 20-yard dash to the end zone. A Jacksonville touchdown, 23-6 as they respond to the opening one for Orlando. And then a rare IFL bar ball. Again, this is an arena rules. You only have the U-shaped PVC pipes, whatever you want to call them, and it bounces off, and that's a live ball in this game. Orlando gets tackled for a rouge, and it's 24-6 in favor of the Sharks as they add another point. So it's a nice tackle for Jaden Stoshak, and whether or not Orozco wanted to kick it there, I credit him with the rouge. So he's already got a deuce, he's already got a rouge. So Redding has a catch at the sticks for the Pirates, adds a couple yards for a first down. Sharks bring pressure on third down, but another conversion for Orlando. It's a big one. Nyquan Murray has an open catch at the 2, pushed across the goal line. So he had the catch, and the defensive back just pushes him across the goal line and in. So it's a touchdown Orlando, 24-13. They need some stops here to get into it. However, they won't. One play, one touchdown themselves. Stoshak has a step on the secondary. Cahoon hits him perfectly in stride in the end zone. It's just an amazing route, an amazing throw, and just nice timing between the two. 31-13 Sharks. Pirates working the passing game on this drive. T.O. Redding he took a shot on a catch. He was down for a minute. Williams has a couple of receptions. Murray motion pitch out left side, and he's got blockers. And he's got a second score of the night with a touchdown for the Pirates, 31-20, as we kind of trade touchdowns back and forth here. Jason Fitz, sideline reporter, reporting that Jacksonville has found a tell from Orlando, and they're trying to explore it. They didn't say what it was, but they're saying Orlando's kind of tipping their hand here a minute. Robinson has plenty of good returns in the kicking game, or the kick return game so far. Jimmy Robinson then cuts on a dime, straight up stops and starts, and my God, he got vertical quick on that one. It's a first down and more. It's a great rush on that play, and that's That's some vintage Jimmy Robinson here. Nice awareness for James Cahoon. He sees pressure. He's about to get smacked, and he shovels it ahead to Robinson for a gain. It's still third down at the 1-minute warning. Cahoon rolls right, extends the play, has Red Douglas going with him. He catches, turns up, and scores. Sharks looking good right now, 38-20. Ensuing drive screen pass to Puka Williams for Orlando. It's a first down as the Pirates are looking to add some final points here as we get closer to the end of the first half. Murray with a catch and a first down. Orlando kind of taking their time as they should. De Laurent makes it a third down with 17 seconds. De Laurent takes off. He tries to leap into the end zone. He's tackled at the 1 with 8 seconds to go. And then again, De Laurent stopped for no gain. 2 seconds left. And here comes the rivalry. We're starting to get chippy. Like, we've had some jawing back and forth, but we're starting to get some pushing and shoving and stuff like that. Players losing helmets, barking at each other. De Laurent didn't like that he lost his helmet. He's at the bottom of the pile and stuff like that. Motion RPO handoff for Puka, and the Sharks stuff him short. And that's it. No touchdown, nothing. We hit halftime 38-20. Sharks have a goal line stand right before the end of the first half. That's going to swing some momentum their way. Start of the second half, and Chris Rice is down holding his ankle. He's able to limp off the field, but he was having a great game in this one. You know, you hope it's nothing major, but he was getting pressure, man. Like, he was getting some nice tackles, and he was getting into the backfield. Pirates get to Jacksonville's side of the field. De Laurent throws left side. Naquan Murray sits on the Dashers with the touchdown in hand, 38-27. Pirates, they needed that, but now they've been going back and forth here. Can they finally get a stop? Good field position as kickoff hits Red Douglas in the chest for the Sharks, so hits the up man. He kind of falls on it, goes forward a little bit. Cahoon starts the second half, but Sammy Edwards coming into the game at quarterback. I'm wondering if this is a specific package. Jason Fitz on the broadcast say, yes, they've designed some red zone and some goal line style packages for Sammy Edwards, the backup quarterback for the Sharks. Edwards left side rush by himself, so everyone goes to the right. He goes to the left. He gets the edge, and he has the end zone. It's a touchdown, Jacksonville, 45-27. Defensive pass interference on the Sharks gives Orlando nice field position, along with a couple of Thomas Owens receptions. So ensuing drive, Orlando's getting set up nicely here. Third and goal, Jacksonville bites on the wide receiver screen and Teal Redding. So everyone goes to the side for the wide receiver screen, thinking that that's what it is, and Redding just shoots forward, and it's a touchdown for the Pirates here. That's a nice play, and I don't know if it was designed like that, but fake it till you make it, I guess. They're not going away. 45-34 is our score. Cahoon back into the game. Douglas with a catch, but he fumbles, but recovers it as Jaden Stoshak now is hurt. That's not good. Broadcast said he was kind of cramping up a little bit. Third down catch, and kind of the first catch. I didn't hear Markel Wade's name most of the game, so maybe this was his first catch. I'd have to look at the stats. You haven't really heard much of him tonight. It's been mainly Red Douglas and Jaden Stoshak and Jimmy Robinson, but still, nice catch right there. Cahoon comes out. Edwards goes in for this package. He scrambles on third and goal. He won't get the first down. Orozco comes out for a field goal, and he hits it, 48-34. Pirates, it's a stop, but it's not. They still gave up some points, but it's not a touchdown. So I guess take what you can get. Starting the fourth quarter, Orlando throws incomplete to bring up a third and long, and then the Pirates can't get a first down. Axel Perez comes on for a long field goal to try and keep pace here. It's no good, and now the Sharks get a stop of their own. Orlando, they need something here. Motion pitch out to Robinson as he cruises for a first down, but a holding negates it. Stoshak, who's back in the game, almost comes away with a one-handed grab, and what a spiral that throw was from Cahoon. It draws a penalty, though. It's an automatic first down for the Sharks. However, fourth down as the drive stalls out, Jacksonville's offense stays out. Cahoon to the end zone. It's batted away, but defensive pass interference. It bails Jacksonville out, and I don't know if I would have thrown that flag. I'm not a ref, but a little ticky-tack right there, but underthrown pass normally leads to that if the defensive back can't turn around, which that's the case. Edwards back in at quarterback as Jacksonville has killed a lot of clock and continuing to do so. Third and long, Edwards remains in, throws left side. Stoshak is there. Touchdown at Jacksonville. That should probably do it. That's kind of the dagger in this one. 55-34 with 6 minutes to play. Redding has a hitch route for Orlando, and the Sharks put a hat on the ball. It pops free. Fumble recovered by Jacksonville as they look to increase their lead. Robinson has a handoff, cuts back left side. Pay dirt. 62-34, Jacksonville pouring it on here. This is where the rivalry goes, man. Isaiah McCoy gets his first catch into Jacksonville territory as Orlando playing for pride kind of at this point. Puka Williams rushes right side, gets inside the 5. Isaiah McCoy headbutts Chris Chukwuneke. No flag. All right. I'm amazed there was no flag on that one. Williams will go left side this time and rush in for the score. 2-point try batted down by Chris Rice, and I want to see his stats because he played really well in this game. Maybe a little Defensive Player of the Week honors. Maybe, maybe not. 62-40 is our score. No kneel down here. Handoff to Jimmy Robinson. He turns on the turbo, touchdown Sharks, and Stoshak goes down again with more cramps. Extra point, no good. 68-40 Sharks. Orlando runs a couple of plays. They'll run out the clock, kind of pat some or stat pad a little bit here, and that's it. Jacksonville takes the first edition of the Jacksonville-Orlando Sunshine Rivalry in 2026. Let's go take a look at those stats and dive a little bit deeper. Check out our bet. We still have another recap to do after this. All right, so stats. Over the face, over the screen, whatever you want to call it, and this was just kind of a beatdown for Jacksonville. There was some back and forth, all things considered, but at the end of the day, it was all Jacksonville. After that pick six by Dylan Brown, and Orlando they were able to kind of keep pace a little bit, but eventually just kind of got worn down. You can see it in the score, only 6 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the fourth quarter, and like I said, a little bit back and forth there, but by that time, you combine first and fourth quarter, it's 43-12. So Jacksonville doing work. It doesn't help that, like I said, that pick six, the deuce, the rouge, like everything really just started working in Jacksonville's favor. So what can you say? Orlando's given up some points here. They've given up quite a bit of points throughout the season. And Jacksonville, kind of a slow start to the season. They looked good against Northern Arizona. Not so good against Vegas, but they look good in this one. And that's all that matters because we're recapping this one. We're not recapping the Vegas game again, tell you that much. To our leaders in this game, Paxton De Laurent, 27-34 for 247 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not a bad day, man. All things considered, is just you had someone better than you when it came to this. So, yeah, what can you say? Puka Williams, 7 carries for 20 yards and 1 touchdown. And I've alluded to it a little bit. Like, Orlando's passing more than they're running. And for a team that kind of relied a little bit on Puka Williams to do both last season, it's nice to see the passing game get some more shine. But I wouldn't say they've abandoned the run game, but it's definitely kind of an afterthought. You don't necessarily need it until you do, and we'll see when that kind of rears its ugly head because the passing game is working. Paxton De Laurent's accurate, and you kind of missed that last year with Kenji Bahar and stuff like that, but you do kind of need a balanced attack here, and the running game is kind of going by the wayside a little bit. Thomas Owens, 7 catches for 74 yards, 1 touchdown. So again, passing game working really, really well. Him, Redding, Murray, McCoy, all of those guys, even Puka in the backfield, coming out of the backfield. The passing game's there. It's a really, really good passing attack. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the year. But Thomas Owens, what can you say about him? James Gahoon, 6 for 9 for 94 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now again, these are in the Indoor Football League stats, not mine. So if that is accurate, 6 for 9, nice. And good. Half of his passes were touchdowns, and a lot of those were kind of your deep shots. Now, Sammy Edwards did throw a touchdown as well too. He did rush for a touchdown too. So again, offense kind of moving when it comes to that. Jimmy Robinson, 13 carries, 60 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. So you look over at the right side really quick. Rushing stats. Robinson had more rushing yards than Orlando combined. Now, again, you could factor in some sack yardage or loss of yards and stuff like that, but to have Jimmy Robinson rush for more yards than Orlando had total, it says something. Jaden Stoshak, your leading receiver, 2 catches, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not quite a Randy Moss stat line, because I have said that before. I love that stat line, but 2 catches for 2 touchdowns, you'll take it. 43 yards and the injuries and cramps and stuff that Stoshak battled. It's a warrior performance. What can you say? Taking a look at our team stats, and again, I had said this earlier, these are the Indoor Football League stats. Why do you say that, Cody? Because Orlando went 4 for 3 on 4th downs. They converted a 4th down they didn't have. Jacksonville had 3 first downs the entire game. 3. I don't think that's accurate, guys. I don't think that's accurate. So, again, take that with a grain of salt. So I can only go on, I mean, I don't have to, but I'm choosing to kind of show the follies of the stats. So this is what we have. Total yards, 302 to 204 in favor of the Pirates. And again, they had to pass their way to try and stay in this and get into this. They just couldn't do it. Only 108 passing yards on 10 attempts for Jacksonville, they completed 7 passes, 6 for Cahoon, 1 for Sammy Edwards. So again, 70% passing, pretty accurate when you only need to throw for 100 yards. Rushing, again, favors the Sharks here. They only rushed it 17 times. 13 of those for Robinson. I'm assuming the other 4 were Sammy Edwards or something along the lines. If there's more rushing attempts, they're lost by the wayside, man, because that's all the indoor football league had. So just the 1 field goal for Orozco, the missed field goal for Axel Perez. Penalties, I'd have to go back and look at the penalties, but that seems kind of accurate. There were some penalties called in this game. There's some chippiness, and like I said, there's the one headbutt that I'm amazed wasn't called, and there's some defensive pass interference and things, and so I can't complain about the refs or anything like that. Turnovers. No turnovers for Jacksonville. A really clean game for them. The 1 fumble by, was it Redding, I think I said, and then the interception, the pick 6 that Dylan Brown had. So let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball here. The guy I want to look at, Chris Rice, actually a little underwhelming. He did have 2 solo tackles, which were tackles for losses, but that was pretty much it. But while it doesn't show up in the stat sheet, he was getting pressure. He was beating his offensive lineman around and putting pressure on the quarterback and trying to get, back there when he did. So kudos to him when it came to it. But for the Sharks, Isaiah Major, 7 solo tackles, 4 assisted tackles, 1 fumble recovery. A really good day for him. And then Dylan Brown, 5 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles, the 1 pick, 1 pass breakup, and obviously the touchdown that goes along with it. So really good day for those. For the Orlando side, not really much to speak of. Only 3.5 total tackles for a loss, only 3 for Jacksonville. And then 2 of those were Mike Mason. 5 total tackles, 2 for a loss. And that's pretty much where it is. Otherwise, it's just kind of 4 tackles or less for the rest of the defense. They just didn't really get too many stops for the Pirates. But, yeah, quite a few tackles when it comes to the Sharks. And we just kind of go from there. Clay Fields, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass breakup, 7 total tackles. So really good day for the Sharks defense when it comes to this. A little left to be desired with that. Let's go take a look at our bet, and then we will go on with recap number 2. Oh, you're going to be seeing a lot of this time. All right, so recap number 2. We go to the nightcap in this one. Well, I guess the more nightcap because both games are in the evening. But regardless, we go to San Diego, Quad City venturing out there. And as we talked in the preview, Quad City undefeated against San Diego, and not this time. And it was one hell of a game, I'll say that. But in the end, San Diego, hats off to them. And it was a nice back and forth affair, but we started out here with Nate Davis to Shane Hooks, and he's pushed into the boards at the 1. So making quick work of their very first possession. Motion handoff to Tyrell Green as he kicks off the scoring. It's 7-0 Strike Force. Ensuing drive for Quad City. It's a nice mix of some run and pass. And then Kevon Rudd brings in a huge catch inside the San Diego 5 on a 3rd and long. So now Quad City, they're in business. Jared Ware leaks out of the backfield. No one follows, and he has green pasture all the way to the end zone. 7-7 here in Oceanside. Soft coverage. That'll be a theme for both sides. Nate Davis, quick pass left side to an open Vander. He tucks his head, trucks into the end zone, 14-7 San Diego, as we're trading blows back and forth here. And then a huge run for Kean Williams, and it's a bank to San Diego penalty. It'll give Quad City a 1st and goal here. A huge return, not a huge run. Sorry, huge kick return for Kean Williams. He had some good returns in this game. Quad City starts the second quarter with a stalled drive, but Jan Bogdan does salvage it. It's a field goal from distance, 14-10. Strike Force have a 4-point lead. End zone shot for San Diego. Dallas Daniels is behind double coverage, but just off the fingertips, incomplete. You'll be hearing that quite a bit. Not the incompletion, but behind the coverage. Green has a catch right side. He picks up a 1st and goal on a 3rd and 11, so San Diego moving the ball here. Daniels has separation in the back of the end zone. Davis finds him. 21-10 with that touchdown to San Diego. They have their 3rd straight. Quick hitch route, Kean Williams in space and zoom like a Nissan if you get the reference. If not, you're old. Take your Metamucil. 45-yard catch and run, 21-17 as Quad City responds. Strike Force dropping bombs to the end zone, which fitting because that's their name and that's their logo. Shane Hooks comes down with it this time, 28-17. We're trading scores here, but we're going between 11 and 4 points, give or take. Coming out of the 1 minute warning of the first half, Daquan Neal lobs one to the end zone himself. VC, he comes away with it. Touchdown Steamwheelers. They're just throwing haymakers. This is a heavyweight fight. It is 28-23 after a missed extra point, so a 5-point lead. Strike Force wastes no time. Jalen Sample goes up and gets it. I don't know if it's a mossing, if you can call it a mossing, but he goes up and gets it over Kevin Ransom. A little push off, but that's the Quad City Homer hat being put on there. Regardless, it's a touchdown for San Diego. And then Sample, he has an octopus. It's the 8 points with the 2-point conversion. 36-23 our score. Neal hits Williams down to the 5. It's a 1st and goal for Quad City. And then a toss out right side. Jared Ware reverses field. He has space and he runs in. A touchdown Steamwheelers. Extra point good this time. It's 36-30. Davis from midfield and hooks is open for another score. Defense in this game does not exist. 43-30 with 2 seconds to go in the half. And then Bogdan comes out for a 45-yard field goal at the half to end it, and he makes it. 43-33. Go yawn. But still a 10-point lead for San Diego at the halftime break. Second half begins. Kean Williams kick return touchdown. 43-40, and Quad City needing a stop here. So some momentum shift a little bit. Not for long, though. Nice catch by Shane Hooks, and defensive pass interference gives San Diego a 1st and goal. Quick slant route, and defenders has Daniels open, and it's another strike for Nate Davis. San Diego answers the call, 50-40. Lead goes back to 10. One play, one touchdown. Neal to Williams in the end zone. These offenses are just torching the secondaries. 50-47. Quad City gets it back to a field goal game. Quick work for San Diego, though, to get into the Quad City side and to get to their red zone. Sample, open left side end zone, and again, another Nate Davis touchdown pass, man. 57-47. Back, forth. Ernesto Lacayo, he hits a deuce on the ensuing kickoff, dropping a big fat deuce on him. 59-47 as the lead has grown to 12. And then Quad City with some nice chunk passes to get inside the San Diego 10. Neal tries a quarterback draw. He gets thrown down by Afanye Maije as we end the third quarter. Incomplete pass for Quad City to start the fourth brings up 4th down. Bogdan out for a field goal, and this time he misses. Oh my. San Diego up 12. They're in the driver's seat. And then did he come away with it? Kevin Ransom, he has an interception. This man is a pick machine. I think it might have been a little underthrown or maybe not to the right guy, but Nate Davis throws an interception. He is prone to do that once or twice a game. Neal to the end zone. Kean Williams. Name a better combination right now, man. Well, maybe we will. Both teams, they just turned defense off in this game, man. Quad City 2-point attempt, no good, but that touchdown does go through. 59-53. Steamwheelers need a steamwheeling stop. That worked better in my head. I'm sorry, I'll workshop that. Steamwheelers get San Diego to the 3rd and long, but Shane Hooks, name a better combo. I think we found one. Shane Hooks steps ahead of Cameron Harrell, and he beats his man to the end zone. Nate Davis and Shane Hooks, my God. 66-33 San Diego. Jared Ware with a catch and a run to the 1st down, and more. He gets to the San Diego side of things here. Neal with an overthrow. Devin Hafford picks him off. That might do it. But Quad City challenges, and they fail. So, San Diego ball. 3 straight plays for Edward Vander. San Diego looking to kill some clock here, so mixing some nice run and pass and everything like that. Steamwheelers have a tackle for a loss, but an auto 1st down because Rashawn Williams suplexed Dallas Daniels to do it. Davis leads his man with a pass. Shane Hooks, name a better combo. Cameron Harrell, not having a good game. He's gotten burnt a couple of times tonight. Quad City defense as a whole has not had a good night. Neither defense has. 73-53. Strike Force go up 20. We hit the 1-minute warning. Quad City has a couple 1st downs as the play clock ticks. And then from the 6-yard line, Neal hits Williams again as he sits on the goal line and crosses it. 2-point conversion, no good. 73-59. Strike Force still up with 17 seconds to go. And that's it. San Diego's going to run out the rest of the clock, and they take this back and forth affair 73-59. They have their first victory over the Quad City Steamwheelers, and they looked damn good while doing it. So let's go take a look at those stats, take a look at our bet and our prediction. We'll not our bet, we're just we'll take a look at our bet, you know what I mean, and we'll take a look at the prediction. But yeah, we'll go from there. Anyway, after that we wrap up, so let's go take a look. All right, stats over the face as they have been all season. What a game. What a game. Look at those second quarter points. Look at those second half points. Look at it all. Just take a look. Just look at it. This is what dreams are made of. This is the arena game that people talk about, and it happened. So for every 29-22 Tulsa San Antonio game, you get one of these. So yeah. Nice back and forth affair, but eventually one team had to win out. San Diego just made more plays. They were able to get the stops, and when stops is not just necessarily fourth downs, but missed field goals or just field goal attempts instead of touchdowns, and that's what San Diego was able to do. Quad City did not get any stops unless it was a turnover or late in the game and stuff like that. So all intents and purposes, San Diego played as close to a perfect game as you probably could get, except their defense. The offense played a perfect game. The defense left a little bit to be desired, but that's where we have that. Taking a look at our game leaders on the left side here, Daquan Neal, 19 of 31, 270 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jared Ware, your leading rusher. Again, neither team really ran the ball in this one. Once the passing game started to open up, 5 carries, 18 yards, and 1 touchdown. He did have a rushing touchdown. And then Kean Williams, 7 catches, 120 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. Those are all nice stats. Nate Davis. Nate, the great Nate Davis, running alert, whatever. 22 of 27, 276 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, I'm recording this after the player of the weeks have been announced, but if this man did not win player of the week, which he did, I would have thrown a fit because that was an amazing performance by Nate Davis. All credit where it's due. I root for Quad City, but I also try and be as unbiased as possible. What a performance by Nate freaking Davis. My God. Not to be outdone, though. Edward Vander did really well in rushing and receiving. 9 carries, 41 yards, no rushing touchdown, but still able, I think he was still able to get into the end zone, all things considered. Did he get into the end zone? I'm pretty sure he did, right? Yes, he did. He got into in the receiving category. Now, speaking of receiving, Shane Hooks, 6 receptions, 140 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. Between Williams and Hooks, 13 catches, 260 receiving yards, and 8 receiving touchdowns. We were just going back and forth. Like I said, name a better combo than Daquan Neal and Kean Williams. It's Nate Davis and Shane Hooks. My God, more yards on 1 less catch. What can you do? Just, again, Neal, not a bad day. Not a bad day, 19 of 31. Maybe pump those numbers up a little bit. Nate Davis, what can you say? Just vintage Nate Davis. For some of the games, and I said this earlier, for some of the games where he's had like a couple of interceptions or like players or like teams have gotten to him, gotten in his head, made him like question a little bit, you have games like this where he looks absolutely perfect. Let's take a look at the team stats on the right side, man. I can wax poetic all day. Team stats on the right side, these are the Indoor Football League stats. Take them with a grain of salt because neither team had 4th downs. That's not correct. 5 for 7 and 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. I can buy that. These teams were battling hard, but if Quad City missed 2 3rd downs, wouldn't they have 2 4th downs they'd either have to go for or kick field goals? Because Jan Bogdan missed a field goal, and I think that was on 4th down. So, good work, stats team. What can you do? Total yards, 322 to 301. I can buy that. A lot of passing in this game. A lot of passing, not a lot of rushing, and both teams kind of abandoned it. And I have harped on both of these teams when it comes to rushing. I've really liked what San Diego's done lately when it comes to rushing. Quad City, man, if it's not Daquan Neal, they're not really rushing the ball, and they need to figure that out as the season keeps progressing because you can't have Neal do it all here. And maybe it was just the running game wasn't working, so they just started passing because that was working more than the running. I'm not sure. I'm not going to overreact to just this one set of stats. But overall, the running game has been there for Quad City, but it also hasn't, if you catch my drift. Like, I feel like it's just been Daquan Neal, and then in certain games, like Jared Ware has some good games. And that's really it. But you need more consistency when it comes to that. Vander, 41 rushing yards, and they had 40 total rushing yards, which means there's some lost yardage in there. A good day for him. He's been a breath of fresh air in the rushing game for San Diego. For a team that barely ran the ball the last couple of seasons, Edward Vander has been a very, very good acquisition for the Strike Force. Both teams threw interceptions. Bogdan was 2 for 3 on field goals. No Lacayo field goals, but he did hit the deuce. Penalties, those seem accurate. Obviously, just like all the other ones, I'd have to go back and double check and all of that stuff, but those seem accurate. There were some penalties, defensive pass interferences, and some penalties that did negate some stuff and things like that. So overall, I can't complain about the stats. They're just, some of them are wrong. Taking a look at the defensive side of things, Alex Harriet, 10 tackles, 5 solo, 5 assists. So what is that, actually 7.5, 8.5, whatever it is. Just, that's what he had to do, man. Other than that, not really much. Charles Rosser had 8 tackles, 5 solo, 3 assisted. So actually, 6.5. Keyshawn Moore kind of non-existent in the game. The defensive line kind of non-existent in this game. Cameron Harrell, burnt toast, man. I hate to say that, man. I wear the jersey, but you got burnt by Shane Hooks on a couple of those things. San Diego side of things, only 3 tackles for a loss for them. The tackles were spread around. Hafford had 3, Herman Smith had 3, William Barber had 3, and those are all defensive backs. Like, not a lot of pressure when it came to the defensive line. They're all towards the middle and the bottom of the stat sheet. They did have 4 pass breakups and the 1 interception, but for all intents and purposes, defenses just didn't matter in this game. It mattered when Quad City couldn't advance, and that was pretty much it. Other than that, I think at one point until very late in the game, either when Davis threw the interception, I think they said they scored on their first 9 drives or something along those lines, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't want to misquote it, but San Diego scored like on their first 8 or 9 drives, and that was insane. I think they're all touchdowns too. So yeah, there was no stopping that when it came down to it. So that's where we have it. Just a really, really good game for San Diego. Quad City played a really good game too, but you ran into San Diego. When you're like, hey, who had the best performances of the season? You'd be like, well, Quad City did, in a loss. So I don't know. There's still some stuff to learn here. The defense is still a work in progress for both sides, and we'll see if that carries over into their future games or not. But with that, we need to go take a look at our bet with this one, and after that, I think we just wrap everything up and we get out of here. 2 for 2. Simple as that. And that is it for our recap for our Friday games when it comes to Week 6 in the Indoor Football League. Now, I know I'm late when it comes to this. I've said this multiple times. I do apologize. And again, I'm not doing it for anyone in particular, but for myself, and I hate myself for being late with all of this stuff. But I don't need an excuse. I'm just lazy. I wish I had an excuse. But nah, man, it's been busy. It's been busy trying to get all this stuff and all the stats and everything else. I'm going to ramble. I won't talk people's ear off, but I'll make the video even longer. But yeah, we're already into Week 7. We've got the preview out for Green Bay and Orlando. So we could take a look at that. We still have to talk the Saturday and Sunday recaps when it comes to Week 6, and I'll get those out. You feel free to watch those or don't, and that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, getting those out hopefully before the Saturday slate of Week 7 games, that's kind of my priority when it comes to that. So we'll watch Green Bay, we'll watch Orlando, and then we'll kind of mosey on from there. We're going to start, I think this is the final week that we have all 7 teams. Let me take a look here where we have all 7 teams. Or is it week 8? Yeah, this is the final week, and then we start doing some bye weeks. We got 6 games in week 8. But this is the final week where we've got all 7 games, or all 14 teams, all 7 games for quite a while. I think until week 10, and then that's week 10 is the brawl at the mall that we have. So either way, that's where we have it. But I hope you enjoyed these recaps. It's fun making them, and then like I said, traveling to and from Tulsa, trying to gather my bearings and watch all these games when I've had the opportunities to. I was trying to watch one of the games on the car ride, but the cell service between Oklahoma and Kansas in the middle of nowhere, it's not great. So what can you do? But anyway, that's where we leave it. I've had a lot of fun over the last couple of weeks, a lot of fun meeting the guys in Tulsa. We'll recap those and stuff like that when those games come to, and we just kind of go from there. But I love and appreciate every single one of you guys for taking the time to watch this. If you want to like, comment, share, subscribe, cool. If you don't, cool. And let's see you in the other recaps, man. I'll see you in the previews for Week 7. I'll see you on Shady Sports. I'll plug it here, too, if you haven't had the opportunity to. I got interviewed by Trey from Off the Wall. He's a great guy. His channel is amazing. And all of the stuff that he does to help grow the indoor and arena game, go check out his stuff if you haven't. If you're coming from there over here, cool. I hope my content is awesome and cool for you too, and we can just be buddies from there. But until then, I'll catch you guys in all the other videos. There are plenty to still get done, plenty to do. The grind never stops. So, until then, catch you in the next ones. See you.